Hey guys, welcome to the Bladecast. My name's Travis. You're here talking with Long, owner of Oak City Inline Skate Shop, and Cameron Card, previous pro skater, ASA Pro. Everybody knows him. Cameron's a fantastic skater. So if you don't know who Cameron is, get on YouTube, go watch his stuff. He's done some of the biggest stunts in rollerblading history. It's really super sick to have him here. So we're here to talk about what year is it? And that's a good question. What year is it? So what is this? What year is it? We saw this event page pop up on Instagram one day, and it just said, "What year is it?" And then we all were like, "Woodward? What is all this? Like, what year is it?"
So it's an event that me and Cameron have carefully cultivated into the closest experience to a camp experience at Woodward in the early 90s. We're talking mass rollerbladers, cabins full of inline skaters, and just essentially trying to make dreams happen. A lot of us weren't able to make it to Woodward when we were kids, so this was kind of a way to really cater to the crowd of rollerbladers that want to go to Woodward that never got the chance.
We're trying to keep the dream alive, for those people who thought it might be dead.
From what I understand, I think you live pretty close by, right, Cameron? That's why you're constantly somehow connected to this.
Yeah.
Do you have any do you work there? Is somebody you know work there?
Yeah, I'm literally 4 miles down the road. We turn left, and then I turn right, and I'm at camp. And I met my wife at camp back in 2008, and I've been going there since 2001. She's been going there since she was 3 or 4, and she works there year round now. So she's one of their full-time employees, which is like a group of 10 of them or something. Yeah.
And so Kendall was the one. She sparked the flame of this whole thing, because I had already been organizing a couple of small events, just bringing groups in. And then one time Kendall was like, we can make this, with a little bit of strategy, we could make this big. And with me, her, and Cameron, it's now become what it is, which is insane.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, it was basically just two guys talking, and then the wife being like, "Yeah, let's do it." And we're like, "Wait, what? We're just talking. We're just dreaming. What do you mean, do it? All right, yeah, let's do it."
It sounds like the whole event's taking place at Woodward over the span of a weekend. And, Woodward's historically been kind of a gate that you can't get past. So it's cool that you guys have found this way through and you're able to do this. Speaking of Woodward in general, what's open to us? Is it just going to be Cloud 9, and the backlot like it typically is, or what do we have this time?
If you ever go to camp as an adult off season, you're only allowed to skate Cloud 9, which is that mini ramp that everyone's seen with the beautiful spine, and Lot 8, which was a skate park that was originally for inliners. Lot 8. That's like an eighth of what's really available there. There's so many other facilities that aren't typically available to people.
So what he's saying is we have full access.
Full access. Everything.
Wow.
Yes, my bad. And that was the one thing. So, usually you're only able to skate 2 parks. You'll be able to skate all the outdoor parks.
I think we counted, we were in the 30s. Like, we tried to name off, just the small areas.
Yeah.
30 little areas that you could go to in session if you wanted. It's unbelievable. And there's even dirt. There's even dirt jumps. So if you have some off-road blades and you're feeling risky, we got some dirt stuff.
So where does that leave in all the picture of everything? Where does that leave Mini Mega?
It's there. It's
definitely.
I'm so envious.
It's for the taking. And just so you know, John Cooley is verified to be there on Saturday from 12 to 2 p.m. just ready to batter you in blade or show you how to Misty flip it or whatever whatever you want to do. He's there just chilling. So he's already on the schedule for that. So mark it in your calendar.
Dang, that's amazing.
There are other skate parks that will be open that aren't like Egypt. Egypt is a nice, fun place where you could be technical and try different transfer grinds and stuff like that. I feel B3 is a great warm-up spot.
Yeah, cool. And the thing with these ones is, like, usually at the end of the season, they close down all their stuff. They take down all their whatever, all their fancy things, and they put them inside these skate parks that we're going to have access to, because they're not going to close it down. They're keeping the whole park, the whole place open, like it was summer camp.
Wow.
And we get to experience all these other places that would usually just be storage units for the duration of the winter. Yeah,
man, I'm getting envious really fast.
But don't worry, because there's going to be a lot of people that didn't make it this year, and they're going to be sad too, and they'll come back next year, and we're going to, I think it will be a lot of fun.
And for me and Cameron, this was a very hectic year, and we had a lot more plans. We had a lot more plans than what's going to happen. And, a lot of the things that we wanted to make happen this year, the year just really caught up to us.
Yeah.
But, now we have a little bit more experience. We have the traction, and we're going to build.
Yeah, I think some of the stuff I was seeing for the both of you is like, Long, you're now a father. Congratulations on that. I think I saw Cameron doing some stuff on Instagram with a bus. You're like converting a bus into a house.
Yeah. And we just had our third.
Oh, man, congratulations on that, too. It's amazing. I'm still at 0, and I don't think that's changing, so hopefully my life stays a little stable.
You got plenty of time.
I know. Yeah. That's the unfortunate part for me. So talking about this whole event, and, you guys are already talking about, like, who is not going to be able to make it this year, but the reality is, like, who actually can come to this? Is it invite only? Are we talking, like, pro level got to be there? Are you talking everybody who's previously been to the camp? What are we looking at?
18 and up, inline skaters only. I think that wasn't us. That was something that Woodward said.
I think quads can still come.
Oh, quads. So, but mostly just no skateboarding or no biking from from what I've seen. Anybody who's really interested, and anybody who can be a responsible adult and that can refrain from the use of drugs and alcohol while there. I think they're opening their facility to us, and that if we can just be respectful, just for 48 hours.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
That's what I've heard, is that it's no drinking, no smoking, no drug use kind of thing. And then everybody's staying on site as well, right? So we're going to be staying at the cabins.
Not everybody, no. Some people are saying that they wanted to bring their family members, like their wife, but the wife isn't skating. So would they have to pay for a bed? Yeah, they'd have to pay for a bed if they're staying on campus. But if they get their own bed and they have another place outside off campus, they can stay there and come in as a visitor.
And the rate's much cheaper that way.
So you're not going to be paying for them to be skating, without them skating.
So there are a couple exceptions to this, and they're mostly around, people who want to bring extended family or anything like that. Obviously, a lot of us are getting older, and it's 18 plus, so there are going to be people with family who don't need to just camp on site. Right. That's kind of the one exception. Everybody else we want to keep, localized on site if we can.
Yeah, and we have plenty of cabins, and we've had people who are just getting 10 people together and they're renting a whole cabin. And so it's a big crew cabin, maybe everyone from Texas or maybe everyone from Atlanta, or people maybe had come previous as campers, because that's kind of how it used to be back when camp was going. We had certain weeks where certain places that all these kids had grouped together and came. It was neat. And it's kind of how it's going as well this time. So
yeah, super exciting. It's really cool to see Woodward in some form or another, picking up Inline, even though it's a small weekend. It's just like the first of many things that you guys are attempting to do, and this is us putting the olive branch forward. Inliners have historically been shitheads. If we can fix that and turn around and really make Woodward want us to be there, and also show that we want to continue to do this, it's a great thing to do. So as of this point, who all's coming? Do we have an extended list of homies who's already on board, or how many cabins have been rented? How much space do we even have?
The capacity was 300 plus.
Was it that? I don't even remember hearing the number. I think it was like you're not going to fill it, and we're like, okay.
So I got the 300 number because I looked at an aerial shot of Woodward, and I counted the cabins that were in the vicinity of skate parks. A rough estimate But 90s right now, low hundreds of people coming, like 100 skaters. And, you know, I still get people contacting me who have said that they're still trying to get their cabins together. Some notable names that I can think of off the top of my head. John Cooley will be there. Tim Schmidt will be there. You know, he's always fun to hang out with.
The whole Indiana crew.
John Ortiz.
Yeah, the Blake with the podcast.
Jump Street podcast crew said they were going to be there. So that means Billy O'Neill, and Austin Paz. Yeah. So that would be cool. A few of the other New York homies.
Leon had mentioned on an email, not confirmed, but Leon Basin and Eric Burrow from Shop Task had mentioned that they're trying to book a room.
Craig Parsons, he's going to be there with his whole Ohio crew.
There's so many names.
The whole Tennessee crew. Dem Tennessee boys. So it's DTB, so it's like down to Blade. It's the perfect crew name. Like Taylor Popham, Ray Cronenberg, Julian Meyer, and pretty much any of those shredders that are associated with them.
Also, we got a whole Blady cabin that's booked out. Like that's a whole, I think 11 girls.
Wow.
Plus, I think there's more that I have not even heard of.
And then a Florida cabin. So there's going to be like 10 Florida people who are just like booking flights and going up.
There's been a few events where we gave away cabin spots. Yeah. So there's a few guys. There's Detroit.
Shredpool?
Oh, yeah. Shredpool's coming.
Yeah. Shredpool. And then Andy Letterman.
Oh, yeah? He's coming? Nice.
Yeah. He's going to, so that's the thing. He's coming as Wish's or Wish Chassis representative. Okay. So we do, and that's the coolest part is that we're going to have a few brands bringing representatives. So like Apex, 50/50, Wish, well, Razors, because I mean, and then,
it's Razors.
Yeah, it's Razors. And they, thank you. That was the best way to put that. You know, no disrespect to that. I'm just saying, like, they really they contribute really well, in my opinion. Yeah. That's a lot of contribution. But who else? Do we know anyone else, Cameron, that you think?
There's so many to name. I don't even.
It's so tough.
Pretty much like I pick up my phone every day and there's another awesome person saying, I'm coming. And I'm like, dude, I'm so excited.
Is there any opportunity for anybody outside, you know, who can't make it? So like, is there, like my company, like, are we able to sponsor? Are we able to help out? Is there anything we can do that's needed for the weekend besides just, let's get a ton of rollerbladers to Woodward?
We're trying to offer micro events basically throughout this whole weekend where if people don't have anything to do, if they're lost on, you know, what can I do to have fun, go check the schedule. There's something for you to do.
Yeah, and you know, we're still building it, but hour by hour there'll be something to do if you're just kind of lost and you're just looking for something.
If you offer something special to Inlining and you think you could, you know, host an hour of doing something.
John Cooley will be doing Mini Mega, like just a session, like at Mini Mega, just like if you want to get more comfortable with it, you know, he's like not like.
He loves it.
He loves the ramp. So he's probably going to be the best person there to explain to you how to get more success with the ramp. But
it will also attract other people who are interested in the Mini Mega, and so there'll be a session for everyone to be, you know, to make it to.
Rossi's ambassador Grant Hazelton has agreed to do like a cess sliding seminar. You know, and that's the thing. That was the thing about camp is when you went to camp, it wasn't just about having fun all the time. It was actually about progressing and getting better. With that being said, we will be doing like just giveaways. So if there are companies out there that want to contribute and kind of help us make this grow, you know, if you send us products, all we're going to do is find people that look like they're having a great time and just give it to them. And I think that's a great marketing tool for them because, you know, not only are you having the time of your life, but Long or Cameron just walked up and gave you, you know, a Razors hat. Thanks to Razors because they actually are sending us a prize pack. And then, you know, if you are a company out there, encourage your representatives to come. I think that would be really helpful. We're talking about deep market penetration. These are individuals that care deeply about inline skating. So, you know, if you show up and you're the only frame, well, there's two frame companies now, but if you're the only boot company that's there, you know, that's 100 skaters that care, that are really passionate, and like you can't buy that type of marketing that easily. Well, I mean, I guess you can now these days. Anyway, it's not easy, and these guys are spenders, right? Like that's the thing. Honestly, like from a skate company's side, like, and I'm not talking to like the normal Joe now. Like hopefully, like USD or them skates is listening, but these guys obviously are spenders because they're willing to travel. They're willing to spend money on lodging and food and all these other things for Woodward because it's not a cheap trip. But I think it's a great opportunity for companies to kind of show like we do contribute. You know, we do care about the community, because that's all this really is. Like, there's no money to be made. Like, we're not like Cameron talks about it. Like, this is a lot of work for nothing. And that's just something to think about.
Yeah, it's a question. It's a question. Like, what are we doing this for? We got to really know.
Yeah, like websites cost money, man.
Setting finance aside, what would be an ideal goal? I mean, obviously packing the house would be the greatest thing that we could ever do. But if you guys had a tangible number that you wanted to hit, like what would you love to see for the weekend?
I'm already happy with it. 100. That's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
I told Jan that.
Jan is a Woodward representative.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
She's the director. She's the one that's actually really helped us a lot too.
She's the one that everyone will call to book, and they'll be talking to Jan. Jan's the one who's going to charge their cards. Jan
said that there was room for, if we packed the place full, 800 people, and that is what I wanted. I was always told shoot for the stars to land in the clouds, and so yeah. I mean, I would say once again every day is like I'd like 800 people there. But I mean, hey, that's not realistic, of course. But I'm happy with anything really. Even if there was only, let's say, like only 50 people actually show up, it's still going to be an incredible time, and that means more prizes for us. So, right? You know what I mean?
So the goal for everybody listening is go to this event. We need 800 people to go. That's the reality. If we can get 800 people at Woodward, inline skating, who are all over 18, that would be absolutely incredible. But the reality is we've already done 100, so that's really cool.
At the end of the day, I'm sure the question is like, why would we want that many people? But the reason is like, so like in the near future, hopefully we can make an event big enough that pulls enough draw that we can pull in outside sponsorships. I think that's big. Just to be able to say, hey, like we have 200, 300 action sports enthusiasts concentrated in this one space. Maybe you should bring some Red Bull here, or maybe you should bring some Gatorade here. And then maybe if we can get enough money, from the sponsorship revenue, what we'd really like to do is maybe not this year because time fell too short, but next year fly in someone elite, untouchable on this side of the earth. Like I feel like let's name a skater that is amazing at skating but would never come to America because of
can't afford it.
Just because they don't have the money, or because they're Europe is already killing it for them. And so me and Cameron have a short list of skaters that we would like to bring in next year. So I think that's the thing that would make the event.
But even beyond that, I mean, why would we task it on the skater to do that? Like, sponsors, seriously, just step up. Like, you want your pros to be here. And you did explain it well. You said this is a deep penetration into an end of the industry that really, I mean, honestly, this side of the industry drives our industry. It's not the one or two kids buying, random Colts here and there and doing stuff. It's guys like us who own 15 pairs of rollerblades, and everyone is specialized and has intuition liners and Wizard frames and $300 wheels and bearings. Like and I own 3 pairs of those. So that's kind of my own problem, like, and we're sitting here having this conversation. So yeah, I mean, I would love to skate with like an Eugen Ennen, a Joe Atkinson, CJ Wellsmore, like all those guys. I would love to see every one of those dudes here.
You just named our whole list.
But at the same time,
you like the list, Cameron. What are you doing?
That's it's ultimately on the sponsors, though. I mean, and that's something that the sponsors could do for an event like this. So if you are listening and you're them skates or your USD or your Roasies, figure out how to get your riders over here. And it sounds like you guys would be more than accommodating. Once we can get them here, it's just a matter of getting them in a bed, and having someone like that could easily put another 10 to 15 people in those beds. So offsetting one bed doesn't sound like the end of the world. That'd be awesome.
And I think rollerblading has one thing that most other action sports don't have, and it's loyalty. John Julio alone has shown how strong loyalty is in rollerblading. So, I mean, I just think that if you can bring a representative in, and that representative can win the hearts of even 15, 20 people, you've bought skate sales for life from those guys. Because I know guys that will support USD because they really like Montre, and Montre is a genuinely nice guy, and so they're like, I want to buy Montre skate, I want to support that. And I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, but I think that seems like pretty sound.
It's absolutely true. Yeah,
reasoning, but yeah,
having people there. There was a really cool Instagram post that B-Free made at one point, and he was like, "We need more shop tours," and that was the whole post. And it was like, hell yeah, we need more shop tours. I mean, we need more shops in general. That might be step one. But even so, the Volo guys came to Portland at one point, and they filmed sections in Volo 5. And my complaint was nobody saw them when they were here. And I wish, if they would have sent out a tweet and been like, the Volo team will be at the local park from 3 to 5. That's it. Yeah, you're here for a short amount of time and you've got a dedicated thing, but I'm sure everybody wants to go to the park and just hang and have the team come out, hang for an hour, and then bail. That would have done so much more service for the people around here. And if you can do that at Woodward, I mean, it goes a really long distance and it carries really, really far. So if you are somebody out there in the industry who can do this kind of stuff, do it. That's what we need. Is we need more community involvement. We are a loyal brand. We're a loyal family of people who care about this, but loyalty goes a distance. I would love to skate with Eugen, and I got to meet him when I was in at Winter Clash, and it was amazing. Gave him a big hug, and he had worked with us on a project, but the dude's amazing, and I would love to see more from him. If I got to skate with him in person, that'd be phenomenal.
And that was the one thing I remember that was big too, was the USD team came to my local skate park, and normally demos, you kind of you stand behind the tape and you watch the skaters. But they were actually they could totally skate with us. And that was kind of an amazing experience. And I mean, I feel like that the separation between elite and Groms is a lot smaller now, but it was still something that really, to this day, sticks with me. I'm happy that everyone's so excited. And, I think the one thing that really has motivated me and Cameron was that we hear people say that this was a dream come true for them. And, I think if anything, that is payment enough to know that, this is something that someone's wanted their whole life and now they're able to get it. And I mean, that's awesome. You can't do that usually. Normally, you can't bring that much happiness to someone, right? I'm gonna make your dreams come true. Right now, tell me a dream that you want. I'm gonna make it come true. That's incredible. So
no, I know for myself, growing up, I had no money, no way to get to Woodward, and then I turned 18, and I was like, well, that's the end of that. So guess I'll never skate Woodward.
Dream's dead.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I was one of them, and if I wouldn't have turned ASA Pro, I never would have gone. No way. I dreamed as a kid. I dreamed. I turned 18, and I was like, well, at least I'm pro now. I'll call them. But still, it wasn't quite the experience, that it was for campers.
That's another thing we run into, too, these days, is a lot of people, they live on this hope and prayer of, it's not what it was. It's not, it'll never be the same. It'll never, and it's true. I mean, rollerblading, the 2000s era of rollerblading is gone. The 90s era of rollerblading is gone. But what we have now is the biggest core audience of people coming back into rollerblading that I've ever seen. And almost every day on Reddit or on our website or through my email, and I'm sure you guys hear it too, is like, I haven't skated in 20 years. What do I do? And we're like, here's some rollerblades. Come just join us. No one cares. So if you've ever been on the fence about doing this kind of stuff, this is it, you know. I hope and pray that next year this happens again, but this very well could be, you know, the last time that we have this opportunity. I really hope that that's not the case, but you know, let's fill the doors and make sure it's not the case. Let's make sure Woodward has no choice but to do what year is it, part 2?
2019.
That would be really nice. I think that was the main goal, is like, I want to just be able to continue to go to Woodward. And I think that's the one problem that we have, is that we talk to so many people who are like, oh, I'm just going to make a call and I'll be there. I go in for free. Or I used to work there, so I'm going to get in for free. And, you know, that's great. Don't get me wrong. Free's great. But, you know, in school, they taught me that there's no such thing as a free lunch. It always costs somebody money. So, you know, what's free for you, you know, is a pain for someone else. And I feel like that's the one thing, is like, it's nice to kind of give back and, you know, reciprocate. I want a very nice, positive relationship with Woodward.
Should I hold up a pair of Solomons and say, don't buy these, you're not supporting the industry? I think that's what you just explained.
Well, shoot, you know, if you buy Solomons, at least I know you're going to buy some carbon sole plates and some frames.
But more so, to put the two pieces together, the parallel I was trying to make was all the homies who were like, I can get into Woodward for free. You know, I can do this for free. Like, that was the joke I was making there. We kind of, you know, flew over the head on that one. But more so, like, you know, you're sitting there saying, like, I can get in for free, I can do this for free. It's like, yeah, good for you, but that doesn't support the industry. And that's really, like, what it is, you know, it's $100. Like, if you're going to come to Woodward, yeah, and you can get in for free, good for you, big deal. But, like, it's $100 and hang out with your homies, hang out in the cabin, skate the whole place all weekend. And that was a part of it, too. You know, I said it was $100. So is that what the actual price is? Like, can we talk about what the full rate is for the weekend? I think there's some special rates beyond all that, too.
I'm going to just take the reins here, Cameron, because I've, like, explained this a lot of times. So, so they're really only offering a few options. The main, most popular option right now is the cabin. So it's $1,000 for a cabin, and that pays for 10 people. So it breaks down to $100 a person. But the biggest issue with that is that puts the responsibility on crews to get the 10 people together, because they only want one payment for each cabin.
Are you sure? Sure?
Yes, that's what Jen told me.
Okay. Because I was under the impression that, like, if there's 4 people that want to come, they don't have 6 others, they can call Jen, and she's going to be putting them in another cabin with 6 others, random. So for me, it was like they had to get 10 people so that they could have 10 people that they wanted the cabin with, more like, rather than the whole $1,000.
Well, you know what?
I'm going to put that right here once we find out the answer. It will tell you yes or no if that's the case.
I will say either way, if Woodward is that way and they only want to organize it in that way where they only sell one cabin at $1,000, that I've already made like a master list of broken crews, like crews of 4, crews of 3, crews of 2, and that way I can help piece together a copacetic cabin, because like-minded people work well together, and that kind of thing.
So yeah, what Long is saying is call him if you don't have enough people, and he can help you find the right people to be rooming with.
Yeah. Some people may not be interested in staying 10 people in one cabin. You know, it's going to get noisy. It's a lot of it's a lot of people in one space. So you are able to rent smaller rooms with 4 beds, and the rate for that on average is like $220 to $240 a person. The only setback on that is that we need to put at least 2 people in each of those rooms. So even though it has 4 beds, like if like you and one friend just want a really quiet time, you don't want to have to deal with those guys, 2 people could stay at the lodge for $460, and 2 people could stay at the Buds Barn in their own private room for $440 or something like that. I have all the rates on the website WYII.us. And then you can always just call the shop or call me or Facebook message me, email, all the other, Instagram, whatever's best for you. You can hit up Cameron too, but I'd rather you hit me up because I only have one kid and he's got 3. So those are the options. The $100 option is so killer because honestly, every time I've ever been, I'm never shy of paying. So it's always been $214 for the weekend, which I always thought was a deal. Mm-hmm. And then they were like, "Oh yeah, we'll do like if you guys could get these cabins filled, we'll do $100 a person for 10 people." And I was like, "Can I get that in writing? Like, can you please, like, you know what I mean? Like yeah, because sometimes like when you hear things that are too good to be true, like you seriously think about it. Like you can't even find a nice hotel for a night for $100, and you're gonna be able to go to Woodward and skate. You know what I mean? How much would you pay just to skate there? You know what I mean? Like I bet you people would pay like $30-$40 a day to just skate there.
Oh man, I just remember like when you were going to camp there, it was like $1,600 for the week. Like that. I mean, I would never afford it as a kid who grew up poor. Like there's no way I would ever afford Woodward. I barely afforded meals. So where am I going to get to Woodward?
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing too is like maybe you live close by, so it's convenient. Yeah, I'll drop that $1,600, but the travel costs, like that was the one thing. I remember like I was like, "Mom, if I save up all the money I can I go?" And like when I saved up like all the money I could, it couldn't even cover camp, and then it couldn't even cover it didn't even cover the bus trip there. You know what I mean? Like that was the thing. So so the $100, that's to cover lodging, but we tried to keep in consideration that it's going to be tough to get out there, especially for people like you and Florida heads.
That brings me to the next point of all this as well, is like, what is the best travel destination to get to? Because I know Woodward's kind of in the middle of nowhere, and it's close to a couple things, but it's still a few hours from most major spots. So what are our best options to get out there?
Okay.
State College has an airport.
Also, Williamsport has a airport. I personally, I don't mind driving a little bit. So if people are going to rent a car or something and they want a couple $100 cheaper airplane, there's airports like all around here that are about 3 hours drive. We're like right in the middle of so many of these like major Pittsburgh, Philadelphia. That was the one airport that I was told was the easiest to find cheap flights to. Yeah. Because it was one of the bigger airports around the area. So yes, it's a little farther out, but you'll save on the rental car because it's a bigger airport. It's going to have more rental car companies, and you'll save money on the flight because there's more of them. Megabus ride. Megabus is like sometimes you can get tickets for $15 one way.
You can also contact me. I'm sure that I'll know plenty of people who are going a certain route that would love a companion that could help them split the travel costs. I'm just trying to connect. If someone becomes best friends because of this trip, it was worth it. So I think it's going to happen.
So you're like the Tinder app of rollerblading at this point. You're just connecting people and
we might as well call ourselves Grindr. No, wait, no. I think one thing too that a lot of people have been doing, and I mean this is no pressure, but flying into Philadelphia was a big one, driving in, and then I think a big one was State College, because State College is the closest of all the airports in the area. State College is the closest, and then that way, if you talk to one of us, we could probably even coordinate someone to pick you up from State College to kind of, and shuttle. So at least that's the one thing. So of all the options, those would be the two first ones that I would look at: State College in Philadelphia.
And just to be sure on all this too, there is no shuttle from offsite into Woodward. It's completely on everybody to get there themselves. So you're either going to have to rent a car, talk to a homie, catch a bus. I doubt in the middle of anywhere that there's probably Uber, so you're probably on your own with that one.
Well, off subject, and we're going back a little bit. It's one thing to mention, and it might be important because some people might come and be like, "Where's my blanket and pillow? I paid my $100. How come there's just a mattress and a bunk bed here for me?" You know, and I don't want that to happen because that's no fun. So it is bring your own bedding for that one tier, for the $100 tier. Bring your own bedding, and also food. No, there's no food being made. There's no breakfast being made. So food's on everybody.
You guys are just killing the weekend now.
There are plenty of food options, though.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. We're gonna have together like a list of places that they could go, the times that they're open, times that they're not open, and stuff like that. We're gonna try to make it as easy as possible.
Are there options within the cabin to have microwave or anything else like that? I don't know what the cabins look like at Woodward.
If you do choose to stay in the nicer accommodations, like the Bud's Barn, or if you stay in Bud's Barn or the Lodge, there are refrigerators. There's not a big one, but there are refrigerators in those rooms.
Mini fridges.
Yeah, mini fridges. And then there's also like a cooking area like close to you, like a microwave and an oven. Yeah, see, so that's the upswing to staying at the Lodge. And that was the kind of the thing that I was thinking was if you stay at Bud's Barn or you stay at the Lodge, you get those nicer amenities.
Mm-hmm.
That's not something that's given to typical campers, and that price reflects it.
So you mentioned like Bud's Barn and the Lodge. You're still renting out the space overall. You're not renting one bed at that $400 rate, right? So
Yeah.
One has 4, and I think you said the other one has 2.
So for $460, that covers 2 skaters in a room that has 4 beds. So
Okay.
if you wanted to bring 2 more people into that room, it's like an extra $190 a person. So like let's say 3 people come in, so that's $460 plus the extra $190 for that third person.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, it ends up averaging about $220 a person, with a minimum of 2 people per room.
Okay.
And that's the thing. We can go ahead and set you up with somebody there too, where it's not so stranger danger. I will say that there are plenty of very good food options, not close, but within a 10-minute drive. OIP, Original Italian Pizza, great place to eat. There's a market that's a little bit farther down. That's actually my favorite place to go, just because it has lots of fresh produce. It has a hot bar for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So if you're like, I need a hot meal right now, that's a great place to go. It's a great place to recoup your resources like water or anything that you may have forgotten. And then there's also so many interesting Amish type establishments. Like there's this guy that I'm going a day early just so that I can patron this one Amish guy who makes barbecue. So
Every Friday.
Every Friday.
Wow. Friday from like 8 to 8 or something, he makes like a delicious barbecue chicken.
Yeah. And it's Amish country, so like the food is it's like all like
local meat.
It's all organic. Like, it's like actually organic because these guys don't mess with any of that stuff.
Sure. Is there anybody who delivers to Woodward?
OIP might.
OIP, yeah, I think
they
OIP
have someone on it's hard for them to have staff. So if they have someone that can.
Yeah.
Okay. So more than likely just plan on no delivery, no food on site, no kitchen on site, basically, unless you're in some special accommodation. I'm sure someone has spoken to you about that, if they know that. And then outside of that, like bring your own blankets, bring your own stuff that you're going to need for camping. So it sounds like super minimal, which is fine. We should all be okay with that because we're skating at Woodward for $100.
Right.
But just be prepared that it's not a 4-star at the Ritz over here.
It's kind of like a camping trip.
It is literally a camping trip.
In cabins, yeah.
Like
you were. Bring your little bag full of treats, like you used to when you're a camper. Like hide them underneath the floorboards.
If you're thinking, and I mean, this is just something that I've always done. Every time I've gone into Woodward, I bring a cooler, and I usually just grab some essential like fruits, nuts, just things that you don't really have to worry too much about. PB&J killed it for me the whole time, and because you have a mini fridge, you can keep the jelly. And I always just do that. I never bring anything in. I just show up with nothing. I buy, a weekend's worth of food, and you think you'll make time to eat at Woodward, but you don't. Like, we don't. Like, there's too many things going.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, really, honestly, what you want is something that takes little to no effort. Like, let me just stuff this power bar into my mouth and continue going down the mini mega, because that's exactly what's going to happen. What's the perfect experience is when, you know, the person that comes is completely entertained the whole time that they're there. You know, that's what we want.
Speaking of like having all this stuff going on, I brought up one more thought in my head. Are there specific hours that you guys are open? So is skating only available until like 9 p.m.? Or does it open in the morning, or is it just 24/7 YOLO?
Check-in is at 2 p.m. on Friday. So individuals like to come in really early on that Friday, and then they get kind of bummed because it's like when there's no skating until 2. But I mean, it's really a staff thing. You know, they got to bring the staff in. That's when they can get them there at 2. And I show up early. I fill out the paperwork because they'll be open. Last time I was there, Kendall was at Woodward ready to, you know, sign waivers and take information at 8 a.m. You know, and that was awesome. But skating isn't until 2. Parks close at 10.
Is it park close at 10, Kendall, or is it midnight? 11. Right in the middle.
11? Whoa! Okay, so that's even crazier. That means we got an extra hour, because seriously, it was, from what I remember, it was 10. So, but the park's open at 9 a.m.
Park's open at 9? 9 a.m. 9 a.m. 9 a.m.
I might have misspoken, but that's from my experience.
9 to 10 is 13 hours of skating, like, and we're all over 18, so I don't know who's packing out 13 hours of skating anymore besides Cooley. Cooley's just going to flip the mini mega all day.
Yeah, he'll just be like, I'm just going to Misty flip it both ways. If you're listening and you're trying to think like of a strategy, what I would suggest is show up Friday, like kick around Friday, have some fun, you know, maybe do a couple of Instagram videos. But
yeah, go look at the skate park.
Do not send it. Like, Gary, this is for you. Don't send it. Like, just take it easy the first day.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want to be the guy that gets hurt the first 30 minutes you're there and then is sitting in the hospital the whole weekend while everyone is having the raddest time of their lives.
So bad.
That's the thing. It's like, you don't want to show up, hurt yourself too early. So show up Friday, have a good time. Don't stress about it. Go pretty hard on Saturday. And then if you have a little juice left on Sunday, boom. Checkout is at 12 o'clock on Sunday. You really only get one full day of skating out of the experience. But I will admit, 13 hours of skating in one day is a lot. Like, most people go home they're packing up their stuff Saturday. They're like, I'm going home, man. I'm like, I've got Woodward hip. You know,
one day in,
I'm done. You know, like, I got work on Monday. You know what I mean? So
there will definitely be guys skating Sunday, though, for sure.
Just kind of like recapping everything. So the whole goal is get people to Woodward. You guys have up to, it sounds like, an 800-person capacity. We're already over 100. We would love to find more. Everybody's welcome. You got to be 18 plus. No drinking on site. No drugs on site. If you have extended family, reach out to Long. If you have some situation where you can't stay on site, reach out to Long and talk to him directly about, you know, what you're kind of going to need to do for the weekend. Right now, it sounds like tons of people are coming from Tennessee, New York, Austin Paz, Billy O'Neill. I mean, you guys named a whole list of people. If you missed that, go back and watch it. Texas, yeah. Just go back and watch that whole section. It was crazy to see all the names who are coming up. Yeah. Minnesota, there's another group. So, and then you guys are going to be open Friday, starting at 2 p.m. Check-in, you can get there a little bit before, basically to sign your waivers, but you can't skate until 2 p.m. all day Saturday, so it sounds like 9 in the morning till 10 or possibly 11 at night. And then Sunday, checkouts at noon. Bring your own bedding, bring your own food. You're going to be in Amish country and fly into some kind of airport close by. And if you need more information, check out WYII.us. Or hit up Long, or hit up Cameron.
Wow.
We try to make ourselves very accessible for this whole thing. So if you do have any questions, don't hesitate. And if you want to contribute, feel free to reach out too, because You know, it doesn't, not just brands, you know, just anybody.
Anybody. If you have a good idea,
Yeah.
send it our way, you know, like we love to hear it.
And if you are a brand and your name is USD and you have a sponsored rider named Eugen Ennen, put him on a plane and ship him to Pennsylvania. That'd be great.
Yeah,
He's
that
my
would be
favorite, please.
Yeah. If USD would just like send the whole USD team this way.
Yeah.
Fun fact about Eugen Ennen, he was the very first person in the entire world who liked Blader Union on Facebook.
Wow.
Which is super weird. Like, I don't know how he found us or why he did it, but he did, and we reached out to him and ended up doing a project with him and paying him for doing an edit with us. So Eugen is the eternal man, and he's seriously the nicest guy we've ever worked with. So if you haven't met him yet and you're like, I wish I could meet him, everything you've imagined is exactly what he is. He's just that rad.
That's what I see in everything he releases. It's just like, oh man, that guy's cool.
Well, thanks guys. I don't want to hold you up too much longer. I know that it's East Coast time and I'm here on the West Coast and it's already 7 o'clock, so it's got to be getting late for you and your children out there.
Yeah.
But thanks for the time. Once again, WYII.us. Check it out. Get to Woodward. Go hang out with these dudes. And if you have questions, hit them both up.
Thank you, Travis. Thank you.
All right, guys. I'll catch you later.
All right. Have a good one.